What's good, everybody? It's your boy Big Zach 617, Woke to the World podcast and TV. We are here at episode 7 with the Drunk DJ, powered by Groundbreaker Enterprises. What's good, Mike? How are you doing?
I'm having a great time, other than this hangover.
Yeah.
But you know.
Hey, it's part of the brand.
Zach
right?
is 100% part of the brand. It wouldn't make sense if I came here not hungover, would
Right. So how are you doing, my guy?
I'm doing well. Staying extremely busy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are some of the things you've been doing recently?
Well, let's see. Everything. Every waking moment, for the most part, I'm doing some sort of work. I do graphic design, so I'm always making flyers. I'm always editing videos, out recording and editing podcasts and stuff like that. DJ gigs. There's always something.
Right.
On my days off, like I'll plan for a day off, and that's almost always my busiest fucking day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've just accepted my fate that I'm a workhorse now.
Right. For sure. I don't even know where to start, really, but one of the questions that I had for you, like music-wise, right? So you do a track with an artist, right? That song gets big, but you're the feature on that song. But people don't remember the feature of the song. Do you really consider that like to be a hit in that instance? It's just like it's a hit song. But you're not remembered for being the feature of that song.
Ooh, that's a rough life to live. I know, that's definitely rough, and it happens probably more often than you think. But like you said, you don't remember the verse to begin with, so it's unmemorable. I mean, it all depends on artist to artist. I'm sure it will be devastating for a lot of people.
Right.
But, you know, some people do it for the love of it, for the art of it, and they're like, hey, that song did well, I was on it. Like my verse or not, I'm part of that history right there.
Right.
That's how I would look at it personally. Especially nowadays where I don't have the need to be the face of things anymore like I used to be. I used to have to be front and center of whatever I was doing.
100%.
And now I've learned that being the guy behind the face makes you a whole lot more money than being the face of the thing usually does.
Facts.
You know? But yeah, I mean, to me, if I'm that guy that was on the feature and the song did well, I'm happy that the song did well. I'm still getting paid off of it. You know what I mean? I don't care how much you like it or don't like it. I'm getting paid for it.
100%.
Give me my royalties and I won't cry about it.
Another question I had was, I asked more Beezy this last week, but what is it that you think like artists from from around anywhere like need to improve on?
Shit. You go to any local show and you're hearing the record. Well, they're performing over the record. I need people to start, like, at least give me a performance track where maybe you have like your vocals lowered or whatever.
Right.
That's the one thing all artists need to work on. In general, it's performing, but with the performing element of it, that obviously comes with just drop your vocals off the track. Just rap over the beat for me.
Right.
Leave the hook, maybe your end lines, ad libs, whatever. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
But I don't want to hear the record live. I don't.
I hear that. I heard a little bit of like the reason why. I understand sometimes. I think it's a little bit of a force at times, like how much they do it.
Yeah.
But I understand sometimes for some singers, they can use it as like a layer, and they can use it as kind of like it gives them more time to be able to like take their breaths and everything.
Exactly.
And I understand it more because some clubs, it sounds really good when you pump it in the background behind them, and some clubs it sounds really bad when you do that.
100%.
And I noticed that a lot of outside performances, when you do a lot of outside performances, what I'm hearing is you're hearing a lot of the where they're performing over their vocals for the fact that it's outside.
That's true, yeah.
And it's just like for the outside purpose, it sounds better more for the aesthetic.
Yeah, there's
but there's been times where I've gone to the jungle and my phone's glitched out in the middle of an instrumental, and I'm still sitting here like rapping through the lyrics with no beat for that second.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just like,
there are definitely exceptions to the rule, margins for like you said, like. If it's a brand new song you recorded 2 days ago and you just want to perform it,
right? That's
one thing. Or if there's like a really fast or really difficult parts in it, I get all that. And like you said, for singers, that's another thing. For singers, it's kind of a different story. You might need the harmony behind you for it to make sense.
Right.
I mean, live, whatever. You're singing the main and there's a harmony behind it. It just sounds better that way. But like overall, for the most part, like don't. If you're doing a 15-minute set, I don't want to hear your 4 full tracks. Like I can go listen to them on YouTube. I can go give you a stream over there.
Right.
Again, there's exceptions to the rules when like new song or that the club you're going to doesn't have a particularly good sound system or microphones, something like that. That's perfectly fine. But like overall, if you can perform the song live, I'm gonna respect and enjoy it more and be more likely to go check it out and give you the streams rather than if I just I heard the song in the club. I don't have to go listen to YouTube now,
Right.
But that's my biggest thing is too much of that. Like even I don't perform very often.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that I rap.
Yeah.
But when I do, it's like, most people know me just as a DJ, as a podcaster or whatever. But when I do, perfect example, last week or 2 weeks ago, I was at the Middle East with my guy K Mafia and all of them, and I opened up, and it was one of those situations where people, like I said, people for the most part don't know that I make music, which is my own fault. But it was cool because people going to the bar. It's like, the opening act's up, we'll go do our thing, and then we'll come see the real show.
Right.
And then halfway through the first song that I was doing, like I said, I was rapping over the record. You don't have no vocals in the background, nothing like that. Everyone started moving from the bar, coming back up to the front. So there's something to it. Like I think if I do that over the record, I wouldn't have had that same effect of people like
the same response
coming back, like, oh, what's going on over there? And then like the next day I woke up to like 4 or 5 people on my timeline, I'm like, yo, I didn't know you could really rap like that.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. I think that's like, I only kind of did it for like from a producer's standpoint. Just like if I go to an open mic and I play you a couple beats, you're not gonna remember. You're gonna like the beats. You're gonna maybe spin a freestyle over it, but you're not going to remember.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, I want to make that connection. So you hear my sound, you hear the sound of my beats, and then you hear the sound of my engineering.
Absolutely, yeah. Hell yeah.
So therefore, if you like the music afterwards, then you can connect with me. Then you show up here.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, like you said, there's if you like just showing someone a beat can be the dopest beat in the world, but you heard a million dope beats before, you'll hear a million more. But if you give them a little something extra, they're like, oh, remember that beat that you were rapping over? Can I get one like that? Or something like that. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Very
I hear artists
strategy.
all the time. They be like, dude, can you make me something that sounds like this? Can you make me something that sounds like that? I'm like, the thing for me personally as a music producer is I like to be told what to make. So it's like, if they ask me for like, oh, can you sample this? It's just like, I'm not a fan of that. It's not something that I would naturally make.
Right, absolutely.
You know, and I want to make music that I naturally would make, not something that I was kind of like forced out to make.
Absolutely.
The same set.
Yeah, that's always how my process has always been too when it comes to music. I make beats too.
Yeah.
And then like that, it's I can't sit down to make a beat and go, oh, I want to make this kind of a beat with this. I have to just go like the painstaking bullshit of going through every instrument, every drum until something goes, oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
And then I go from there.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
100%.
I can't go into something like, oh, I want to do
Right.
this type of beat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's
has to be natural.
I always say it's like the starting sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I always say.
Yeah,
It's just like you have to hear that starting sound that you're just gonna build the entire beat off.
Yeah, exactly. Build around that.
Yeah, and then like I always love that like aspect.
Oh yeah,
that's always the like most fun part for me when you're making beats and stuff.
Yeah, when you finally find that first sound, the first sample or whatever it is, that you're like, oh, all right, this is where we're starting.
Yeah, this
is the foundation. And then you go, and then, like you said, a lot of times it goes in sometimes a direction you never would have thought it was gonna go into.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So, how long have you been doing graphic designing for?
So graphic design, I'd say I started doing that. I mean, I started doing it probably like 2018 or so.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take it very serious. I was making like bullshit flyers for myself or the team or whatever. Nothing. I wouldn't even say anything good. Never mind. Not too special. Right. That was very good if we're gonna be 100% honest.
Right.
But then after a couple of years of like I said, doing it for the boys or whatever, I got better at it, and then I'd say like right around the 2020 or so, the pandemic time, is when I kind of really sat down, took it more seriously, and started taking clients on.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What was it like? How did you like start as far as like taking it more seriously? Like, did you like take classes for it, or you just self-teach yourself?
Self-taught with everything that I do. All the many hats I wear. Self-taught, definitely. Yeah. A lot of YouTube University as well, but like going and just, how do I do this? Boom. How do you do that? Gotta figure it out, and then and I keep moving or whatever. But I started taking on clients because, like I said, I realized I was getting pretty good at it, and it was just another way to make some money. And that's what the way I like to say, like all my little, like my podcast, my DJing, all this stuff, they also kind of started as a hobby, and I eventually got good at it, and then monetized it.
Right,
now it's my job.
Right. That's another thing, monetization. Let's talk about that. Dive into that a little bit, because I'm still pretty new to the whole YouTube game and the whole like monetization world.
Yeah. So when I say I took my hobbies and monetized it, like I used to get paid for Facebook when I was like when the drunk DJ started. Yeah. That was pandemic stuff too. That literally started because I was bored at home, had my DJ equipment, I had my beers, and I would just go online, play usually local music, and eventually I got a bunch of regulars and people coming in and showing their friends, and all of a sudden I have hundreds of people watching my lives and stuff like that. I got monetized when I did that. My Facebook did, but then when I was inactive on there after a while, it stopped or whatever. But so I don't have actual like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram monetization, and anything like that. I'm talking about like the podcasting thing. I run a studio, and stuff like that. All that self-taught. Graphic design. I sell.
And because when I first met you, I met you as a podcaster.
Exactly.
Doing the podcasting before I knew that you did like DJ. Before I knew that before I saw you perform on stage.
Exactly. Because for the longest time, that was my main thing, was DJing. I wasn't really doing much else. I did my own music on the side. At that time, when I first started DJing, I was paying someone else to record my podcast and stuff like that. And then, as I did with all the other things I learned how to do, I figured, you know what, I could probably figure that out. I can figure out how to do that, and then I don't have to pay whatever denomination of money to the next guy to do it for me. You know what I mean? That's how I started DJing. It was the same thing. I needed DJs for shows I was throwing. They cost $300, $400, $500 depending on the night and the DJ and all that. I was like, I could probably figure that out. You know, spend a couple $100 on the DJ board in Serato. Yeah. And then I just figured it out at home, working on it every day. And then eventually I got comfortable enough to start saying, hey, you want to book the drunk DJ? Here's my number. You know?
That's dope. Yeah. That's really dope. I love how you just have the figure it out mentality and everything.
Yeah, I never, if anyone asks me, can I or do I do something, I never say, no, I can't. I say, give me a week, I bet you I'll be able to do it by then. You know?
100%.
Most things like this, like especially now like that I have all these other tools in my bucket there. They all kind of have some sort of a through line or some sort of crossover. So like I know how to DJ, so I could probably engineer. I can engineer, I could probably make beats. I make beats, I could probably rap. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where my brain goes. I go, all right, how do I do this over here? And then how do I bring some of that to the next thing? And I usually figure it out. There's a couple things I couldn't figure out. Like the MPC, like I can make beats all day.
Right.
I bought an MPC Live when it first came out. I sold it within 2 months because I wasn't good at it. You know what I mean? I was really bad at it. I couldn't figure out most of it.
Right.
I do want to try and do that again though.
I feel like
I want to get the sample, the MPC sample.
I feel like I could be okay at it. Like I have a lot of friends of mine that are pretty good at it. So like they said that they would teach me. It's just like gotta get one.
Exactly.
Like I've seen things that A-Rap Music does with his. And it's unbelievable.
He's an alien with it.
Like,
He's an absolute alien with it.
Like
MPC.
unbelievable what he does.
Yeah. Like his hands go so fast. Like
Right.
he's doing the full beat, every instrument live the whole time. And
Right.
I couldn't. I still sorry. I can't wrap my brain around it when I watch him do that. Sometimes
Right.
it's crazy.
They have this other like EDM DJ. His name's DJ Official, and he has like this thing that it's called the Trevor, and it's basically like a drum set that's set up to like a whole like visual board, like behind him and like on the thing. So when he hits the drums and everything, it's the same thing as an MPC. But he plays it, and it gives you like the visual effect as well as.
That's dope.
So it does like video games and stuff.
Okay, hell yeah.
And stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
it could be like video game graphics and then the sounds from like Pac-Man or something.
Right,
like that.
yeah. That's dope. Hell yeah.
So, next question I have is, where do you just find the motivation to be able to do things like that? It'd be like, hey, I just figured it out in like a week or so.
Every time my bill comes in, I'm like, oh, I need to figure out how to make more money. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it's like I said, when I first started doing all the, or I should say, more recently, I started treating it more like an actual 9 to 5. Like I'll get up early-ish, not like 8 to start working at 9, but I'll get up like 10, 11 in the morning, and immediately like I'll take my shower, get my coffee, immediately go get client work done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before it was just kind of whenever something came in, I would do it or whatever. But yeah, now it's to the point where I have so much work coming in that I'm almost always behind on work. I'm always in like I said, I'll 9 to 5 it kind of. I'll start in the early afternoon or late morning, early afternoon. By about 7 o'clock at night, I'm done with my business day for the most part. Especially like if someone's like, oh, I need this for later for tonight or whatever. I'll do those type of things. But for the most part, like client work that I have that I know is coming up, I tell everyone either you'll have it by 7 o'clock today or you'll have it tomorrow afternoon. You know what I mean? I usually try to get things to people obviously sooner than later, but like I said, if I have 12 things going that day, sometimes I can only get 9 or 10 of them done, you know, depending on what it is. But yeah, it's really a matter of just like, that's what I do most of every day. I wake up, I'm editing something, I'm making flyers, I'm off to do a podcast somewhere or like this or something like that. Yeah, it's from between the hours of like call it 10 or so to 7 at night is like my I'm in work mode. And then after that, the Celtics are on, the Sox are on, or something like that. Something I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy some beers, watch this, or do something for my own enjoyment. Because for a while I didn't do that. And I also wasn't getting up early enough to do it. So I was just working from, say, 2 in the afternoon to 2 at night. You know what I mean? A lot of times. And it would get exhausting. And I started to kind of hate it, almost resent it. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I wish I should just, if I had a 9 to 5, I would be a 9 to 5. I have my nights free. I have my weekends free or whatever. Now it's like, the clock, I'm always on the clock. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I did implement that 9 to 5-ish. I wouldn't call it a rule, but like the idea of it as often as I can, just so I started to hate it for not a long time, for a little bit. It was like, oh man, I'm doing everyone else's shit at all hours of every single day.
Right.
This sucks. I should just go work at CVS and be miserable there. And then I looked in the mirror and said, shut up, you idiot. Because that's the thing is, I could be a Dunkin' Donuts manager and hate my fucking life and be making basically the same amount of money that I'm making right now, you know? So now, like, every time I do get in the weeds or I'm like, man, this sucks, that's exactly where my brain goes. You know what sucks? Working at a dead-end job. Exactly. You know? Yeah. So at least I get
some pretty cool people overall.
100%.
You know,
that is the best part of the job.
Yeah.
Constantly meeting new people, really, really cool people. Some lames as well. Obviously,
right.
They're all out there. But I have a bunch of lifelong friends just from doing this shit. You know what I mean? My boy Chaz Ray, I met him when I was doing the radio show back in 2012 or so, and we hit it off. We were cool then. We did a bunch of work together, but then 5 years ago now, we've been at the studio we run together. We got a studio together. Myself, Chaz, my boy Swag, Apex, and Smooth. The five of us run Focus 2 in studios out in Brockton. Together.
Okay, I remember going there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful studio.
Yeah, I love it over there.
I love the whole art setup.
Oh, I
was blown by the art.
Yeah,
that was in the hallways.
All 3 layers, and there's such dope stuff in there. A bunch of dope anime stuff on the first floor too. Like a lot of my clients don't see it, and like when they mention the stuff in the hallway, and I know they're into that like anime and stuff like that. Like take a walk downstairs with me real quick.
Right.
Holy shit. Yeah, I love that. Is my favorite part of the building is the hallways.
Right.
So in there, they're rotating them a lot too.
Oh yeah,
so it's almost
that's
always
cool.
Something different. Like every month or two is something new.
Yeah, that's really dope.
I love that.
Sweet. How long have you been doing like the podcasting and stuff?
So it's funny, the way I got into what eventually became podcasting was back in 2010. I was looking for a real job, essentially, and I was on like Craigslist or one of those type of websites, whatever was big at the time to find jobs. And I was going through, here's a job I'll hate, awesome, let's call them. Here's another job I'll hate, awesome, I'll give them a call. And then I saw a radio host needed. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Okay.
Reached out. It was Unregular Radio at the time. They were in downtown Boston. I don't know if you remember them or not.
Okay.
So I reached out to them, got an interview, got an audition, and they're like, we love your idea, we love you as a host, let's do it. I was like, awesome, when do I start? Where do I get paid? Like, oh, we don't pay. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, do I put all my eggs into this basket and just kind of figure it out money-wise as I go, or do I stick to my guns? I'm gonna just get a job or whatever. And I said, nope, I can't fumble this opportunity. Someone's saying, hey, you want to be a radio host?
Right.
Yes, I do actually. So that's how it all started. Was I did that, got the gig at Unregular Radio, did that for about 5 years. And then after they sold the radio station to, I don't even know what they sold it to. We left, obviously, because it wasn't there anymore, and I needed to scratch that itch. Excuse me. So then eventually, I forget where did I first start doing podcasts? I don't even remember where I started doing podcasts after that.
Yeah.
My brain isn't 100% right now. But yeah, that's really what kicked everything off, was getting the radio gig, kind of coincidentally, by accident, whatever you want to call it. And then, I just kind of kept it going, and then I found a studio. I don't remember where I was doing it originally at the podcasting. That's so terrible that I can't think of that. But I did that for a few years, and then it was one of those situations again where I said, I could probably figure out how to do that. So I'm not paying $50, $60, $70, $100 a week, whatever it was, to someone else. I can just get a laptop, get some mics, get a mixer, whatever, figure it out. And then that's what I did, and that's where Focus Twin Studios came from. Essentially, is we all like I learned how to do everything else. Everyone else is like helps out behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone has their role or whatever.
Yeah.
But I became the
But
podcast guy.
everybody there is like obviously like multi-talented.
Oh yeah.
It's
Everyone
just,
does
like,
something.
you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're a graphic designer, you're a DJ, you rap, like you're a producer. In that sense, you wear a lot of hats. I'm sure they wear a lot of hats too. I know that like Chaz Ray, he's a rapper, and like engineer, stuff like that too.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's just like in that sense, it's really dope because you work with a lot of people that are one like-minded, but also two just as talented.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah,
You know?
Everyone has their own thing. I have all the things for the most part, but you know, we have an engineer, we have a beat maker, we have some rappers, we have some guys that do a little bit of editing and stuff like that on the team. Yeah, it's nice to have that. Sometimes I get to alley-oop them some work when I'm too busy.
Right.
Excuse me.
100%. Next question I have for you is, how did you meet Exit Fame and how did you become his DJ?
So Fame, I interviewed him back in the day on my radio show when he was Fame Flint. I don't know if you remember them days. And honestly, I hadn't heard from him in like years or whatever. He was locked down and this, that, the other. But then, like, even when he came back and he was like the Fame, like peripherally I seen him, but you know, I didn't go, I'm gonna go attach myself there.
Right.
He reached out to me for, I think it was Flyers originally. Yeah, it was definitely for Flyers originally, like 3 or 4 years ago. I'd say about 3 years now. And, you know, conversation comes up, like, he's like, I need to find someone to do this for me. I was like, I do that, you know? And then eventually he's like, all right, you're my guy. You do the graphics, I do the DJing graphics for him, a lot of video editing. He has like specific guys that does his music videos, I can't think of his name. Tunnel Vision.
Yeah.
He does a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, Brandon. And another guy. I'm trying to think too hard about details that don't matter that much. But either way, yeah, he saw that I did all this stuff, saw my work ethic, and after doing a few flyers for him and show mixes and stuff like that, he's like, why don't you come like DJ the set for me or whatever? And then after the first time, I was like, yep, all right, you're the one. You're my DJ.
That's dope.
So yeah, we've gotten really, really cool, come really close. That's family now. Yeah, anytime he has a big show or something like that and he needs a DJ, I'm there.
Oh yeah.
We were supposed to open for Jordan Lucas last year, and then that show got rained out. I don't know if you remember that, the Worcester show, which sucks because there was so many people there. It was gonna be so dope. But we got a makeup show. What did we do? Oh, they gave us a Jada Kiss show or something like that, or a Lock show.
Yeah.
Like almost a year later or something like that we did, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anytime he has a gig like that, I'm on board with him.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like for you personally, like who are some like this like biggest names in music you've met, and some of like the biggest people in like sports that you've met, like personally?
Okay. All right. So when it comes to the music stuff, there's a bunch of names that stick out. Obviously, like the Locks in general, Jada and Styles P, met them both individually. I
got to meet them as a group.
Yeah, and I met them as a group as well, but I met them individually at like their own solo shows that I was hosting, DJing, or whatever the case.
Okay, dope.
I don't know if you know about the situation that happened with Styles P at Sammy's Patio. It was like 10, 12 years ago. Another Kid Mafia show, shout out Kid Mafia, and he just recently talked about it, so I'm not like out of line speaking on it. But basically, what happened was, as Styles P was getting up to perform, people in the back of the club started lighting up once or whatever. So Sammy So Mafia, hey, you gotta get the mic real quick so you tell everyone we can't smoke or else we're gonna get shut down.
Right.
So long story short, Mafia went to grab the mic from like asked me, hey, I gotta do the Styles gave one of these, like turn his back on him. Like not like I'm in the middle of something here, bro, which understandable completely.
100%.
But then Mafia did it again and he they kinda had words back and forth. And then Styles like, no, you know what? Here you go. Have the mic. I'm done. Like, basically, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be like that. And Mafia had, we'll say, something in his waist, his buds there. Showed it to Styles. And was like, just give me the mic. I'm about to get the show back on the road. I gotta tell people to stop smoking. So he pulled the gun on Styles P basically in the club. There's footage of it and everything. So I was hosting that show. That was one of the more crazy moments that I had. I met Fred the Godson, rest in peace to him. Another Sammy's Patio through K Mafia show. Jim Jones, that was a...
Jim Jones was the first hip hop show I actually saw.
Oh really? Where was that?
That was the Mid East.
Okay, hell yeah.
I just turned like 18 a couple weeks after that. I was shit-faced.
Hell yeah.
I was so drunk.
So yeah, Jim Jones, I met him at
They threw a cup at the stage, and then the Bird Gang like came in. He did like the song with Max B, and someone said free Max B and threw a cup at the stage. Everybody kind of jumped into the crowd.
That's funny.
And then it's just like they kind of like started a brawl, and like it was like 2 or 3 songs into like Jim Jones's set, then like the whole show got canceled right there. That was my first hip hop show.
That's crazy.
And when that happened, I looked at it and it was like, bro, is this how hip hop shows go down? Like,
sometimes.
Is that my friend?
Yeah.
Like, that's my first
Impression,
experience. And I'm just like, bro, I hope hip hop shows don't go like this all the time.
No, yeah. Sometimes they definitely do, but for the most part, hopefully, they're usually pretty good.
Right.
But yeah, Jim Jones, that was an interesting one too. It was out in Lawrence, that club. Man, I'm trying to think of details today that aren't coming to me for some reason. But it was at a big club out in Lawrence, like a 1,000-person club or whatever.
Okay.
And he came and he did not want to be there. You could tell from the jump to him leaving the stage and all that. He just wanted nothing to do with being there for whatever. I don't know if he had something personal going on, something happening on the way or what. But he got there, it was kind of like one of those moods, like attitudes, like sign or whatever at everything. I was like, damn, like bro, you're about to get paid like $5,000 just for a 6-minute set, like he did like 2 songs or something like that.
Right.
That's all he was booked to do, like a walkthrough / performance or whatever. But he got on stage, he was like literally just in one spot the whole time, basically like this, like whole body language was, I want nothing to do with being here for whatever reason. So I had a bad taste in my mouth after meeting him. I mean, the list goes on for celebrities, artists I've met and worked with on that level. I'm really, really bad at taking pictures in general, like even just thinking to take pictures with people.
Right.
I mean, when I'm out, usually, like it's out hosting, DJ, usually I'm working anyways, and I just, like, it doesn't register to me, I should get a picture with this guy or whatever. The only one I regret not getting a picture with was Fred the Godson, because he had passed like a couple years later, actually, it was. But those are kind of some of the more notable celebrities I had experiences with. And then sports-wise, I don't have many like personal interactions. Actually, I have one, but like I don't have big-time personal interactions with many professional athletes. One though was a very interesting one. Delonte West, of all people, which from what I hear, he's 100 days sober and he's doing good now. I fucking love to hear that, because you see the terrible videos of him all 100%. Messed up and shit. Hate to see that.
100%.
So my experience with him was funny. So I was on this TV show called Trial by Choir back in 2008. We recorded 2007. Aired 2008. It was on TLC. We took a bunch of like 20-something teens from different neighborhoods in the greater Boston area and made a chorus out of us. Kind of experiment, like, could these teens coexist and blah, blah, blah. I got on the show because, not for my singing, that's for sure. I got on the show because I had a sad story that they could exploit. Essentially, is the best way to put it. You know what I mean? I had a fucked up childhood. I was turning 17. I was just in the process of my parents getting out of jail and like being able to have the kids back type deal. Right. It was one of those situations. So they used me for that story, which was fine because I had great experience. I met Larry Ellis, the artist. I met him on that show. A lifelong friend, another lifelong friend. But so getting back to the sports side of it, for the finale of that show, we did the national anthem at Fenway and at the Garden for the open for the Celtics. That's the only one that aired because MLB sucks and they don't let anyone use any footage of their stuff, any of their stuff. So we only were able to air the Celtics one. It was still cool. But so during warm-ups, we were going up for our dress rehearsal, whatever you want to call it. And the Celtics, or some of them were out there warming up when that happened. We were walking, Delonte West backed up into me a little bit on accident and goes, "My bad," and my 17-year-old asshole self trying to be cool in front of my friends was like, "Yeah, it is." And he looked at me like, "Is this fucking kid serious?" I was a little 17-year-old fucking hood rat. He gave me a look like, I could kill you. Yeah, absolutely. Right. But so that's the most memorable experience I had with an athlete, I guess, a professional athlete. It was fun. It was funny.
I'm trying to think of who's the first professional athlete that I met that wasn't music involved was Hulk Hogan.
Oh, really?
I met Hulk Hogan pretty young in the Gold's Gym in Tewksbury first opened up.
Okay, yeah.
Other than that, I'm trying to think of who the next athlete. I think it was John Lester was the second.
Oh, nice!
Athlete
Hell yeah!
I met.
Classics. Red Sox.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me.
So in that sense, yeah. How are you liking the whole TV thing that you're doing right now?
Oh, I'm loving it. So we're only recording once every 3 weeks or so, but we're doing 3 or 4 episodes at a time.
Okay.
So yeah, we go in there for a 4-hour block. We'll have a couple of guests come in and just kind of bang out 3 episodes in a row. But it's so awesome going from my studio, which is fine. It's a nice little studio. I have a couple $1,000s worth of equipment in there.
Right.
It gets the job done. Then you walk into that studio and it's $2 million worth of equipment or something like that. It's so crazy. Just visually, being in there, I feel like I'm up. I've stepped up a big time level or whatever. And it's really cool. So I brought, it's called Resilience Unscripted. It was a podcast that I was recording freelance. I would go to this girl's house, Marissa. Shout out Marissa. We would go to her house, set up 3 iPhones on a tripod, and I had my mics and all that. Brought it. We would do thing. Her podcast is mostly based on recovery based, people in AA and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And telling those stories. But we do like to break it up and have artists. Well, we've had Exit Fame on, who's a mix of the 2 worlds, obviously. Right. But we've had Hayden LeBlanc has been on. Ty, what's her name? Pearl Handle. We've had them on. We're gonna be definitely getting some more non-recovery based people in, just so we can broaden it up a little bit. And so, that's the thing. Mercer, I love you, but it's depressing producing that show sometimes. Yeah. Because I'm sitting there listening to these people tell her about how they lost everything, lost their kids to the system and because of drugs. I'm like, man. So it's nice every once in a while to get the boys in there, a rapper, a singer, something like that. Someone just doesn't just only have a sad story to tell.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, but I do love the TV thing. The equipment looks a lot more intimidating than it really is. And I mean, once you look at it, it's oh shit, look at all that. And then you really look there's 15 buttons. You know what I mean? Right. There's 15 buttons and there's 4 different boards. One controls the cameras, which those are so cool too. They have robotic cameras and stuff. So they're on wheels. You have to like position where you want to, but like you have the little joystick thing and to go zoom in, zoom out, turn it all 360 if I wanted to, all that. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I want to do more of it. I actually, like, after we get a couple of sessions deep, I'm going to talk to people there, like, hey, if you need a in-house producer,
right,
let me know. I'll come in and,
right,
you know, where I'll work on other shows too, or whatever. Because yeah, I do like that a lot. And I don't know if I'd pursue it necessarily in a more, like, I think I have way too much else going on to like I want to be a TV producer full time now.
Yeah.
Find a job doing that. But man, when I'm there, it does feel really cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's like some of the stuff that I've been seeing is just like it looks like the replay booth from the NFL.
Exactly.
It's just like put it over your head. You see the screen.
Exactly.
You see all the buttons, and then you're just like, yeah, it looks intimidating at 1st.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, it only took me one training session to get it down.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, I love that. I do. I love that a lot. And again, shout out Marissa for bringing me with her, because after she, left the house that she was at, she's like, well, now I need to find somewhere else to do it. She found out you can do it at if you're a resident, you can go to the Revere TV and they'll, you know, audition you, this, that, the other, and give you a show if it's suitable for their channel. And she could have easily just done that and thanks Tim for everything, but see you later. Right. They have in-house producers there.
Yeah.
But that was her main caveat was he's with me. He's my producer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So big shout out to her. I appreciate that big time.
That's dope.
Yeah, huge opportunity for me that I could easily have not gotten. You know what I mean? And it would have made sense. She's not the type of person to do that though. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
100%. I hear that.
Yeah.
You know. And, switch over here to the sports sector.
To what's that?
We're gonna switch over to the sports sector.
All right, let's do that then.
You know. Just, I guess we're gonna start off with, how did you start DJing for Focus Pro?
So, Focus Pro is essentially named after me. So shout out my boy Brian Bayside. He's one of the owners. Him, Evan, and I think there's like one other main owner.
Yeah.
But Brian had been wrestling as long as I've known him since we were 15 or so, and he was wrestling back then. And it was funny because back then, and even still right now, like he keeps his like, I wrestle, sometimes he raps, he doesn't rap so much anymore, but like he wrestles, he does this, and he makes, like he's a filmmaker, director, and all that too.
Right.
He doesn't mix those worlds at all. Like back then when I first met him, I didn't know for like 3 years that he wrestled or whatever. And I was with the guy most days of the week. So like it's weird that he keeps it all separate like that, but either way, that's kind of besides the point. That's how I got that gig though, is they needed a DJ.
And they heard
I know him. But yeah, so when they started the company and they were looking for a name, Brian was originally actually part of Focus to Win. He still, you know, kind of is at heart he is. But he's just never around to do so. But so when they decided to start a company, they were trying to think of a name, they're pitching this, that, the other. And then he was like, do you mind if I pitch Focus? And he's like, I know it's kind of like your brand, but I was like, absolutely, that'd be fucking dope if you guys go with Focus whatever and it ended up being Focus Pro Wrestling.
Right.
So yeah, I've kind of from day one been attached to the whole Focus Pro project in general.
That's dope.
Yeah. Like I said, it's essentially named after me.
That's crazy, you know. Are you like the only person from like Focus to Win that's like involved in Focus Pro, or are there others that are involved in it
too? Me, Apex, and Swag I DJ. Swag a lot of times is the bell guy, and then Apex is like our middleman that does both. When like if I need a bathroom break, he DJs or whatever. If I need this, or like he'll work the actual board, so he'll turn the mic on and off for Rich, the announcer, and all that. But yeah, so it's 3 of us are heavily involved with it for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's wicked though.
It is. It's awesome. So yeah, I love to be able to have the boys with me when we're doing things like that.
Yeah. For sure. What's the craziest thing that you've seen at one of those shows?
Well, last show, you know exactly where I'm going with this too. Last show was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. I have seen some crazy stuff. I've seen people go through steel chairs, like unfolded, set up, like to the point like it easily like a bar could have went through someone's fucking leg, like it smashed like that. That was pretty crazy. I've seen what's it called? Someone got hit like directly in the face with the those light bulbs that just explode like the fluorescent lights or whatever.
Yeah.
But by far the craziest thing visually that I've seen was last week or 2 weeks ago. Monty Aries ate a fucking keg to the face. So Beastman, he was fighting Beastman for the belt, and Beastman's about 150 pounds heavier than Monty is. So he came with a big boy.
Yeah.
And it was from 6 or 7 feet away, so he had to give him something. He had to really put a little something into it.
Right.
And empty keg or not, it's still a fucking metal piece of metal kind of flying at your face. And he, after I did, not to break the illusion or whatever, after I watched the video a couple more times, you could see he did barely get his like shoulder up, so it didn't hit him directly in the face like it looked like it did, but it looked like it did, and that's really all that matters. You know what I mean? In wrestling. So
I saw the video from Gorilla Press TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout-outs to him.
Yeah, big time.
And he, I got a really dope Stone Cold shirt from him. But,
nice.
But I saw the video from him, and I was just like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the keg was like launched into his head, and like. Because like he was blindsided by it, he wasn't looking at it. And I was just like, bro, he didn't even know to like when to throw.
Exactly. And
like I can't imagine like looking around and like trying to see like crowd reaction to when he throws it. You know, at that point.
The place went like silent for half a second, like, is he okay? And then like crazy, like holy shit, like like the air was taken out of the room for a second, but like in a good way, you know? That was definitely visually for Focus Pro, that was the craziest thing I've seen for sure. And it was the last show. It was the last one we were at. The most recent one.
I remember Danziger though.
That was
the one over at Roundhead Brewing and stuff. I guess Roundhead Brewing just got bought out by IKEA from what I just read.
Yeah, that's crazy. I like that spot, but man, I can't imagine they're doing very well business because of how in the cut it is. There's no foot traffic just accidentally going there. You know, you have to know that you're going there.
Right. It's not like a main strip.
Not even
really
close.
Like the back warehouse.
Yeah, if you're walking
it's a dope
there,
spot. It has great.
It does.
It looks like it has great food.
Food was good. It was very expensive, but it was really good. It was like I think it was a pizza and a couple of empanadas was like $50 or something ridiculous like that. It was very good though. I will say that. And from right here, that's like a lot of the regulars that they do have are there for the food for the most part. So they're doing that right at the very least. Well, they were.
That was crazy. You know, I have all the visuals from that. I posted it on like the Woke to the World thing, and like I did like event coverage for it. And like that was the second Focus Pro event that I went to. The first one was the one over at the Great American Beer Hall.
I love that venue.
That venue is awesome. I can't wait for you guys to go back there.
Yeah, we're back there. I think we have one at the end of the month in Braintree, and then like the week or two after that, we're at Great American Beer Hall over there in Malden. That spot's awesome.
That spot is awesome. Yeah. That's what I was like, yo, like this is dope, you know. What I like to say is when you go to like I wasn't really a huge independent wrestling fan like that, but like now I just appreciate wrestling for wrestling at this point. And when you watch the WWE these days, like it gets stale, it gets boring at times and everything like that. And the way I look at it now is when you go to an event like Focus Pro, or you go to an event like independent wrestling, and you can be that close to the ring, you can be that close to the action. When you go to a WWE event at the same time, because I've gone to both now, I can say that from the WWE standpoint, it's more for the cinematic entrance.
100%.
And then when you go and you watch the independents, you go and you watch the actual matches, that those ones are the like organic, like actual fighting. Like I just watched you break a light tube over your head.
Exactly.
Type shit. Like what are you doing? Like who would have thought you would have done that?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
the first match one of the first matches I saw, it was a complete 360. I went with my buddy Luke from the Lost Planet to the first one that we were at over at the Great American Beer Hall. And I saw the Brian Bayside match that he did. And like I thought it was kind of goofy. Like I understood it. Like why it was happening for the show aesthetic. And then they had like the JB Anderson and Masada match right afterwards.
Exactly.
And it took a complete turn. And I watched like JB Anderson get like skewered. Like
crazy.
Like the
face,
wind.
Oh
I was just like, bro. Like I then I was just like, bro, I saw the craziest thing. And like when I see stuff like that, it's just like I have so much respect in the sense of, bro, like you can't prepare for that. And on top of you not being able to prepare for that, like
you can't practice getting stabbed in the face. You
right,
know?
you can't.
You just can't. You can't practice.
It doesn't matter how many times you get hit with that light tube.
Oh yeah,
it's still going to hurt the same amount.
Every single time. Yeah, 100%. You might be able to build a bit of a tolerance for that pain or whatever, or some sickos like that shit, the pain. But like, it's insane with the stuff that they do there.
Right.
I saw, excuse me, who was it? I forget who it was. I think it was Monty did it to someone brought someone on the bar and like gave him basically like a pedigree onto, it ended up being plastic cups, but visually it still looks crazy. Like, excuse me. But yeah, things like that are nuts. That just stab in the forehead, all that fun stuff. Don't know what the hell this is. Wow, I think I'm back.
That's crazy. I saw a match like a couple weeks ago. I think it was like when Monty like won the championship. Or something like that. He was in like a dog collar match.
Yeah, with Tyree, right? The big black guy?
No.
Oh, no.
It was Miles.
Okay, yeah, Danny Miles.
Yeah, Danny Miles. Yeah, I watched that match. He had like a mini documentary with it and everything.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool and how they like set everything up that way.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope.
Yeah. Who's your current favorite wrestler in WWE as far as male wrestlers right now?
Who's my favorite? That's a great question. I don't know if I ever thought about who's my favorite wrestler currently. Man. Yeah, I mean, Oba's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I've been watching him since the NXT days. I watched him just tear right through there.
Yeah.
I remember at the Focus Pro Christmas party or holiday party, whatever. It was the same night as was it Cena's last match or that whatever the Saturday night main event was? It was his last match, right?
Yeah.
So it was that night, and it blew my mind that when Oba came out to fight Cody, a bunch of wrestlers like that are in the industry. Some of them have fought in NXT. Like, who's Oba Femi? Why is he fighting the champ? Like, like you don't know who Oba is, and you call yourself a wrestler?
Yeah.
Like, he's about as closely removed from the independent scene as it gets right now too. You know, he's only been at NXT for like a year, maybe year and a half, something like that.
Right.
And I'm assuming he was on Independence before that. So yeah, it blew my mind that a lot of people didn't even know who he was, and yet now he's a lot of people's favorites. I think I might put him up there as my favorite right now to watch.
Okay. Dope. as far as male wrestlers, my favorite is Seth freaking Rollins.
Of course, Seth is great.
Seth
great
is
wrestler, great character.
Yeah, I love his character. I love his wrestling, and I love his promo.
Yeah.
You know, I really believe that you have to have all of those things to be a good wrestler.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, if you suck at promos, but you're a really good wrestler, I respect you.
Yeah.
But it's not the full what I want to give you.
Yeah,
You
there's
know, in that sense.
the ricochets of the world.
Yeah,
not great on the mic necessarily. Great in ring.
Right.
Bit of a douche, evidently, in real life. But yeah, exactly. You definitely have to have. I'd say at least 2 of the 3 be strong, and then pretty good at the other one. You can be great promo and a decent wrestler, and I'm on board. You know, and the other way around too. Decent promo. You know, if you're a great wrestler and not great at promo.
Yeah, it really stands out. If you're a great wrestler, you're terrible at promos.
Oh,
You're terrible at promos, but you're a great wrestler.
Yeah,
it really stands out in that sense.
Yeah, like, man, I hate to say go back to the indies to those guys, but like, that's where you'll thrive, in the indies. Like, you don't have to be great on the mic in indies. You just go and wrestle. You know what I mean? They do some promos, especially in the bigger companies. Our company does them every once in a while too. But yeah, exactly. If you can't get on that mic and verbally.
Well, in wrestling, like, ideally, like, you have to do promos to be able to tell the story.
Exactly.
Why does this person have beef with this person? You know, this person came out and attacked this person. That's why they have beef. If they don't promo it against each other, no one's going to know why the hell this person attacked that person.
Absolutely. Yep. 100%.
Who's your favorite current diva on WWE?
We don't. That's a bad word these days. We don't use that word anymore. Man, that's another one. There's so many. So I'd say Sol Ruka is kind of like my low key one of my favorites right now.
Okay, yeah.
I love that Soul Snatch move. It's fucking insane. It's so crazy. But I think I might have to go with Liv. Yeah, Liv Morgan. I love me some Liv Morgan. In ring, out of the ring, on a mic, on my face, wherever. No, she's really good. I like Liv Morgan a lot right now. It's like her and Rhea. I'm probably like neck and neck for my favorite.
Okay. I feel like for the women's side, I think it's a lot harder for me to make a decision on who I think is like the best one.
Right.
Like, if I had to like pick one, I guess I'm picking Rhea. Like out of the popularity and like what she's done. I'm a really big Bayley fan, but Bayley's always getting buried. And like I really hate to see that, you know. Especially it's just like she had such a like great longevity, like all of her matches. I remember watching the Hell in a Cell match with Sasha Banks that they had, and like it was during the COVID era. But that was a phenomenal match. That was one of the better Hell in a Cell matches that I had seen.
Yeah, most definitely. The COVID era was tough. And rough to sometimes watch.
It was.
But they made do with what they had.
They made do with what they had, and like getting the TVs at least was huge for them because like it at least pumped in a little bit of sound, and they needed that little bit of sound because you couldn't just like when they had the WrestleMania and it was completely quiet, you could hear the spots in the match.
You can hear calling it.
You could hear the calls in the match. You could hear what the referee was saying to them during the match. And it really ruined the effect of what wrestling's supposed to be in that sense.
It is tough for the wrestlers, like it sucked for us, obviously, to watch it. Really tough for the wrestlers because most of the time they're out there winging it based on what they're hearing from the audience. You know what I mean?
Right.
It like when I started doing Focus Pro, it blew my mind to find out how little matches are actually scripted or prepared. They just kind of go out there and go, you know, we have these couple spots we want to hit. This is the finish. But otherwise, they're just going out there for 15, 20 minutes and just kind of figuring it out while they're out there. Playing off what the crowd's doing, playing off what their opponent's doing and all that stuff. Like, was that the match you were? Yeah, the match you were at, that the Bayside versus, who was it, Slater? when they decided it with rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, yeah.
That was done on the spot. They decided that in ring. That's how they were gonna figure out the match. And it fucked me over. Not fucked me over. I did, but I forget who ended up winning or losing the match. But the person who won the rock, paper, scissors wasn't the initial winner of the on my sheet. You know what I mean? So I had the other person's music lined up. and I think Brian was supposed to go over, and then they decided in ring we're gonna do this like the rock, paper, scissors. Genius, especially to do on the spot like that.
Right.
You've never seen before. Rich.
Rich was like, what is happening?
Like this.
I was like, what is happening right now? I was just like, we just had like the goofiest match.
Yeah.
And then like rock, paper, scissors. I'm like, what? Like that's how it was decided?
Exactly. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, but yeah, it blows my mind how unscripted it really is. You think that they have like mapped out here with first 3 minutes. It's really not. It's like we gotta hit this spot. This is the finish. Everything in between is felt out between the two wrestlers or three, whatever it is, on the spot, independent or in WWE. Yeah, that shit blew my mind.
I think it's a little bit more structured in WWE. With they have like a little bit more match production. And they have a little bit more of a conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
But like I haven't interviewed a wrestler yet to have that like true aspect of how much of that is. It's just like as I was saying when we were looking at the Great American Beer Hall with the spikes, like do you know about the spikes at some point during your day? Like do you prepare for that during the day?
So I was wondering the same thing about the keg in Monty's face. Like, did he know that was that's a spot you have to have planned out.
Right, you have to have planned out like something like those kinds of spots where it's such like a massive like thing that could go wrong.
Exactly.
You know, when you look back at like Backlash when CM Punk and Drew McIntyre had that match, and CM Punk smashed that toolbox over Drew McIntyre's head. I thought Drew McIntyre died.
Yeah. that was
like, bro, I had 17 staples in my head, and he was gone for like 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
And he deserved that 5 or 6 weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and a lot of people are like, yeah, man, ever since that bump where he did the Claymore and he landed on the stairs, he hasn't been the same as well.
That's true too, yeah.
And it's just like, and he was just like, what do you mean? Like, he just did one with us in an interview with CVV, like very recently. And same. And he literally just said the same thing. He was just like, I feel like more mobile than I did then.
That's so funny.
And he was just like, so it's kind of funny when people tell me that like, oh, I look like I lost the step after doing that Claymore. Like, it's scary to watch.
It's very scary to watch. Landing on the stairs like that.
I thought personally when the toolbox hit him was more scary to watch.
Yeah, most definitely. It was visually, that was nuts.
Yeah, because I was just like, yo, like they might need to seriously stop this match. Like, I thought he was going to die of loss of blood in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like his entire face. Yeah. Like his head.
Red. Oh my goodness, yeah.
I had never seen somebody. I had seen someone bleed like that once, maybe, and that was when you saw JBL versus Cena in the I Quit match back in the day.
Yep.
You know, Judgment Day. That was maybe the only other time that I've seen a match like that bloodied.
Yeah, like, that was wild.
Yeah. How are we feeling about the Boston Celtics right now?
I feel fantastic about my Celtics.
Yeah.
I called it at the beginning of this before preseason.
Yeah.
When everyone was like, "Oh, it's a skip year, so whatever year."
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, year, like off year, down year. I was like, I was putting us in 5th or 6th place in the East. You know what I mean? I didn't see us going second. You know what I mean? I saw us making the playoffs. I even maybe not a one and done, but like maybe get a win around, you know, and that would have been successful with everyone. Like how you go into that season knowing we lost 4 out of our best top 10 players, basically,
right,
and then Tatum as well. So that's basically 5 of our top 10 players were gone. You know, our starting lineup had 2 people from the previous year. But I knew our bench was good. I knew we drafted a whole lot better than people thought we did. Julio Gonzalez is a fucking animal. Same thing with Hernandez. I like him a lot. Junior's been good, but Hugo's been really, really big for us. And I knew he was going to be good because he's another one like a Luka Doncic type that was playing professionally since he was like 14 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So he's pro ready immediately, and it shows. You know what I mean? The minutes that he gets, he's out there ripping boards, offensive boards at that.
Right.
And yeah, just making the team better in general. But yeah, so I knew we were gonna be good. I didn't expect us necessarily to be second in the East. I definitely wasn't expecting Tatum to come back and be Jason fucking Tatum immediately. You know what I mean? It took him a quarter and a half to knock off the rust, and he's been a double machine since.
Yeah, he's been on it.
Yeah, averaging close to a triple-double, player of the month, which is crazy. Right. All that, yeah. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited for these playoffs to get going, next week or something like that, or a week after. I'm so pumped for that. What I will say is, I'm not scared of Detroit by any means, but I am blown away by what they're doing without Cade right now.
Right.
It's crazy. They're beating teams like when I like to bet. So when you go through
1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But when I go through and I look at them, I look at Detroit. I'm like, they don't have Cade. I'll bet against them. Teams that they should absolutely be losing to, they're beating. So I'm excited to hopefully see them in the playoffs and really be able to get that 1 versus 2. You know what I mean? Hopefully make it to the they make it to the finals with us, the conference finals. Right. Because we're going there. Right. We're headed there for sure.
100%. Mm-hmm. I think they're the best team in the East right now.
100%, yeah.
I as great as they are on the Eastern side, I don't know what's going to happen on that Western side right now. The whole Spurs and OKC. And I'm counting the Lakers out right now because Luka Doncic is out. Yeah. For the remainder of the season, he's not going to get his awards. He had that little Achilles thing that they just announced this morning. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that does suck.
So I'm counting the Lakers out in that sense, and I really do believe it's coming down to OKC
and
the Spurs in that sense. The Spurs have OKC's number, and I think as far as the MVP, it's going to come down to either Saj or Wemby. Everybody wants to see Jaylen Brown, and I understand why, but that's just like the same thing with Drake May. Everybody wanted to see Drake May, but in reality, Matt Stafford had the better numbers.
He did, but see, the thing with both the Drake May and Brown, my big thing with both of them is they took teams that weren't even supposed to make the playoffs.
Right.
To the number 2 in the East and to the fucking Super Bowl.
Right.
So it's
100%.
To me, that holds a lot of weight. And
it does.
Numbers mean a lot, this, that, the other. But man, when you think that's like people go, oh, he had better numbers than this guy.
Right.
And that's cool and all, but MVP, to me at least, means this player, if you took that player out of that team isn't the same, isn't any good or as good.
Right.
Drake May, take him away. Drake May made fucking Keyshawn Booty a household name.
Right.
Nobody knew who Keyshawn Booty was a year ago. No one knew who, half of our roster was.
Right.
And same thing with Brown and the Celtics. Our bench, nobody knew who any of them were. Now half of them could technically be 6 Man of the Year candidates.
Right,
you know.
Right.
And then people like Kata stepping up has been huge for us. But yeah, if you take Brown away from that, the team, and it's just Peyton and White, it's a good team, but a good middle of the road team at best, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you plug Brown out of there, but he brought us to second place in the East, and then the fact that Tatum was able to come back and step in and not miss a step really, and not. That was everyone was worried about, how are they going to coexist?
Right.
The same way they've been doing it for 7 years now. That's how.
Yeah.
I would love for Brown to get the MVP. But yeah, it's just not going to happen for the reasons we said, and because league officials hate him.
Mm-hmm.
The league just straight up
100%.
dislike him. You know what I mean?
100%.
So he'll never get a fair shake there.
I feel like it's going to come down to Saj and Wemby
Absolutely.
for who the MVP is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's meant to be, and the Celtics do win the championship, Jaylen Brown's going to win the MVP.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry to
Mm-hmm.
the Jason Tatum fans
Yeah.
out there, because there's a lot of people that'll be like, oh, well, next year it's going to be Jason Tatum.
That's
But Jaylen Brown deserved it because, like,
He
I'm not
fucking
saying
carried the
that
season.
I didn't say Jason Tatum's not deserving of it,
Mhm.
because obviously he played a part to get there too.
Yeah.
But it's like a dynamic duo. People,
Yeah.
I saw a post the other day. Someone compared Jaylen Brown's career to the equivalent of Paul Pierce right now, and that if he wins another ring this year, that he would surpass Paul Pierce in that aspect.
There's a conversation to be had there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Don't hate that, and Paul might even bow down to that too, especially after this season that Brown had.
Yep.
But I mean, Pierce will always be one of the greatest Celtics of all time.
Right.
One of my favorite Celtics of all time. But if I were to put a list together of my top 10, JB might nudge him out of. It might go like Bird, Tatum, Bird, Tatum, KG, and then it might go Brown, Pierce.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And there's a little recency bias there, I'm sure, with
Right.
them, but still, I think he might nudge him out of a higher position just barely, and that's saying a lot because he's only 7-8 years into his career. You know what I mean?
Right.
He has 7 or 8 probably left in him, maybe more, whatever. Maybe let's see, but yeah, even just putting him on par with Pierce now tells me that he'll eventually surpass him in most people's lists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
hear that.
But yeah, like you said, dynamic duo. I hate when people try to go, oh, but yeah, Brown's robbing. And guess what? We have 2 fucking Batmans.
Right.
We have Christian Bale and fucking Val Kilmer. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have 2. Why are you trying to pit them against each other and say, oh, this one's better than that one, or the other way around?
Right.
It doesn't matter who's better.
Because
They're
then
both great.
everybody's gonna cry when one of them gets traded. It'll be like, why did you do that?
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. I think Tatum would be more than happy if Brown were to get like Finals MVP. So
Right.
we go there. Perfectly fine. Like Tatum, he wants the accolades, and he has plenty of them as well. You know what I mean? Championship resume now.
Right.
So yeah, like as much as I'm sure he wants to win an MVP, I know that he wants to win an MVP. I don't see him having a problem with Jaylen getting it over him, especially on a season like this. Yeah. People have that narrative in their own brains that they need to there's a competition between the 2 of them. And
Right.
we have 2 fucking great players. Just accept that we have 2 of the best, 2 top 15 players in the league, maybe
Right.
20. You know what I mean?
Right.
Depending on where you put them and other people or whatever. But we have 2 of the best players in the league on our team. Why do the whole comparison? Comparison is the thief of joy. I don't know if you've ever heard of that phrase, but comparison is the thief of joy. Be happy with what you have instead of saying, oh, but that over there's pretty good. All of a sudden, you're not enjoying what you have no matter how good it is. You
Right.
know? So yeah,
100%.
we have 2 of the best players in the league that are on another championship run. Just be happy
And
with that.
I think they can get another championship.
I think they got a couple.
I don't think this team obviously we have a couple pictures of the Celtics up here. We got
Yep,
one of the
yep.
champs up there, and then we got the opening night one over
keep
here.
that, yep.
And it's just I was talking to Jesse last night about this, and we were I was saying Brad Stevens was getting criticized as a coach, and they kind of gave him that promotion to become the general manager before hiring I have a hard time remembering.
Idoku.
Yeah.
Yeah, Idoku, yep.
Yeah, so before Iron Idoku and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's just like he was really getting criticized, but he got the promotion. Yep. And then he started fleecing the league. Yes. When you look at that picture up there, you see Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Zingis, Derek White, and Al Horford. And you'd be like, bro, those are like... I could build that team in NBA 2K21. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like not worry about like having to like add players and
exactly,
stuff. Yeah. Like that's a group of veteran players that were already mixed in with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Mm-hmm. Exactly. We were the healthiest team that year. Mm-hmm. Everybody, I thought we had a bit of a cakewalk going into that particular Eastern Conference. Yeah. But it's just like, when you look at that team's one stacked, two, it was the most healthy team.
Yeah.
And at that point, the playoff point of the season, I always believe the healthiest teams are the ones that will win the championship.
100%, yeah.
Because there's so many times where it's just like, you'll see all these point guards like Kemba and Kyrie, they have knee inflation almost every night. And then it's just like they miss half the season.
Mm-hmm. Kemba's run here was underrated.
Right.
I love Kemba. He was awesome. He loved it.
But both of them, I felt for a while until we got up to the Drew Holiday point that the Celtics were cursed at point guard.
Yeah.
After the whole Isaiah Thomas thing went down, we were cursed at point guard. Yep. Every point guard we had after that was just injury prone. It wasn't like... Yeah, they can put up numbers, but like they were injury prone. Yeah. It's just like Kyrie with this knee and his hip, Kemba with his knee and his foot.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, no, there's definitely something to be said there. That's definitely right.
Right.
It was a rough run we had, and then the way we got Drew Holiday is one of my favorite things because what's it called. Milwaukee obviously refused to send him to us because why are you going to send a great player to one of your direct competitions?
Right.
So they sent him off to, Portland.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm not staying here. Immediately requested to, be moved. Right. And then he ended up here anyways. And I think that was the most hilarious thing. Like, they thought they were getting over on us by not letting him, because this is where he wanted to be to begin with. I think one of his top... places he wanted to go was Boston to begin with, and they're like, "Yep, we're not doing that. We're not sending you to our direct competition." And they indirectly sent him here.
Right.
That was great. Great stuff.
Right. When you see that, it's just.
And it's funny that he ended up going back there.
Yeah.
That's where he ended up. The place he didn't want to be to begin with.
Right.
They're gonna be pretty good next year.
For sure.
Yeah, the Blazers.
When you look at it, it's crazy because you look at that team and you're like, Brad Stevens did so many trade fleeces. And the craziest thing to me is I was also talking about this last night. The Danny Ainge trade when we got Paul Pierce, when we traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Mm-hmm. Because that really turned into Jaylen Brown and Jason.
Literally, those...
And that trade just blows my mind because at the time it looked like such a fleece. Mm-hmm. And we looked like we got so screwed in that time period.
Yeah,
and then 2 years later, and then like we got a banner out of it eventually. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's just like that was there for the taking for us to get a banner out of it. Anything past that is truly. It's truly a blessing at that point because it took that span from 2008 to 2024 to get to the finals like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, that was insane. The craziest thing was how we ended up getting Tatum. Mm-hmm. What's it called? Philly. Passing on him, giving us we traded back for because we knew they weren't taking Tatum, which is for fucking what's his name,
Markel Fultz.
Yeah, hilarious.
Or Alonzo Ball, right?
Yeah, those are the two.
Markel Fultz, Alonzo Ball, like how stupid do both of them look? Right
exactly.
Now?
Yeah, Lonzo
the
Ball.
Sixers and the Lakers still look like clowns till this day.
Yeah, they're still trusting the process. the process At this point, you gotta stop trusting the process. I think they haven't made it to an Eastern Conference final, have they?
No.
I don't think so. Yeah. So the
Well,
process.
it's too fragile.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to drop him. I had him.
Yeah.
And he put up some decent numbers at some points this year, but.
Yeah, but
you're not winning MVP again. I'll tell you that.
No,
You've missed way too many games.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No.
You're not winning MVP again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's unlikely that he'll play enough games in most future seasons to be eligible. Oh, excuse me.
Do you think LeBron? This is LeBron's last year. You think he's gonna try to do like a farewell tour next year?
I think he definitely wants a farewell tour, like an official, like announce this is my last. Like he wants his John Cena run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like officially announce, hey, this is my last season, so he can get praised at every stadium he goes to and all that. Like I think he definitely wants that. So I think he got at least another season left in him. You know, barring a bad injury or anything like that.
Right.
But I think he has another season left in him. Something weirdly is telling me he's gonna end up in Cleveland again.
I would love to see that.
I
was saying that. I'm pretty sure I said that to Mort.
Oh, really? That's
funny.
funny.
I'm pretty sure I said that to Mort. I was like, yo, like I want to see LeBron have a season in Cleveland.
Yeah,
before.
I have a
weird that'd be a really cool thing.
Yeah,
you know?
and
it'd be cool to see him do it maybe in Miami too, but Cleveland would feel more like home.
It's literally home. That's where he grew up.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah, exactly. I think
I was also talking from a standpoint, it's just like, Ohio is such a trash sports city. Like, I'm sorry to my fans from Ohio and the people of Ohio.
Yeah.
But
Cavs are good this year, but like,
but what I'm saying is, the Cavs are the only thing that's made Ohio sports relevant.
Yeah.
As far as championships, other than Ohio State.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but like pro sports wise. Yeah. Browns are a joke. What other teams do they have? Do they have a hockey team?
They have Columbus.
Columbus, that's right. Yeah.
They have the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. That's how good they are. You can't even remember that they exist. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cavs have definitely been keeping them relevant. The Cavs are pretty good this year, but I think they're fool's gold. You know what I mean? I think they're good during the regular season. Then like that, James Harden is almost never great in the playoffs. You know what I mean? He almost always doesn't show up when it matters most in the playoffs.
You know,
Mitchell, he's been a bit injury prone lately too. And they have a solid cast around him, but I don't think they're getting out of the second round. Maybe the first round. I don't think they're getting out of the second round.
I hear that. Yeah, Cleveland's a dictating team. In that sense, you know. Obviously, James Harden not really showing up when OKC and Miami had their feud and everything. That was a huge part of everything as far as like I think that's what changed the landscape.
Yeah.
That was just like, okay, Katie's like, I'm going to Golden State.
I'm out of here, yeah. 100%.
And it's just like OKC could have done it in that sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I'm gonna conclude it with question I ask everybody.
All right.
Comes through, you know. What do you got as far as like goals and dreams for yourself in the future?
My main thing is, as much as I love the spot we have out in Brockton, I want a bigger studio that like kind of we own and operate completely, whereas like we're in a building that has a bunch of studios and they have rules and they have curfew and you can't smoke and this, that, the other. I would really love within the next couple of years to have a spot closer to Boston that's more our own, you know what I mean, and bigger. That's the big thing. Right now, our biggest restriction, other than like the curfew and things like that, is our unit isn't that big. So like you only have, we have a limited options for camera angles and stuff like that. We have like 10 to 12 feet maybe, and then 10 to 12 feet that way. where we can put cameras and stuff. So I want a bigger space so we can just have better production for our podcast stuff and, be more at home, be able to chill, smoke. If I need to stay the night for whatever reason, or say I'm out, we have a gig. I have a DJ
late night sessions.
Exactly. I'm out at a show, have a gig, bring a couple artists back to the studio.
Right.
We put some work in,
Right.
So that's my main goal, is really getting a bigger location that's a bit closer to home, and we can regulate the rules and stuff like that. More dictate what is and isn't okay. Because we lose some customers strictly because you can't be there late enough for some people, and you can't smoke there inside. You want to smoke, you go to the parking lot. That sucks. I don't mind it so much. I realize that I get a lot more work done when I have to go outside to smoke, and I'm not just smoking and working and smoking, whatever. But I do understand it from an artist's perspective, that like, you're in the studio, you want to be able to just light something up, hit the booth or whatever, hit the mic and get it going. So yeah,
I think that's a little bit over exaggerated.
100%.
I think like, I need to smoke. It's just like, you don't have the money.
Grow up.
That, but at the same point in time, it's just like, if this is really your mindset, if this is really what you take seriously as your job, like you shouldn't need to smoke to do it.
Exactly.
You should be able to create and write a song for yourself without having to smoke 3 blunts.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It pisses me off a lot of times with artists, especially the younger artists. There's that, and it blows my mind that like these younger artists, they need a booth. They need to be in a booth just so they can get the Instagram pictures of them in the booth.
Pictures and all that. It's crazy.
We've lost customers over them finding a place that has a booth, and it's literally just so they can. I tell them all the time, most songs you hear on the radio right now, at least from rappers, are fucking recorded in a hotel room on the tour. Or on the tour bus. People don't go to the studio like that anymore. You know what I mean? And most studios don't have a booth anymore because you don't need it. Technology is so good that you can get rid of the background noise with a lot of programs with 2 clicks. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's funny to me that like the younger kids especially are kind of have that old mentality that like I remember having back in my day, like, oh, there's no booth here, this is whack, like it doesn't look like a studio. But yeah, like I said, most of Drake's was a big name. Most of his shit's recorded on the tour bus or in a hotel room. And it's on the radio.
Yep. 100%.
Hell yeah.
Even people who do like the little mattress booths.
Oh yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I got one of my little home studio. I got like a big heavy towel. I mean, a towel blanket that I put up over like a shelf thing, and that's my phone basically. That. I have plenty of it at the studio I could bring home. And I'm like, I have this fucking blanket. This is perfect. This works just as good.
Oh yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Well, appreciate you for coming on.
Appreciate you having me. This was fun.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Stay tuned, stay woke. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Peace.